Welcome to another episode of We Review Everything. I'm your host, Sin. So last time, if you remember on Naketa's Kitchen, I had made the challenge and Naketa said this. But next time, I'm not going to go easy on you.
Your challenge has been accepted.
That's right. So this time, the kid gloves are off. We're going all out on the hardest challenge I've been able to think of yet, with not just one, but 3 people selecting random ingredients. So let's see how she does today.
Well, let's see.
Whole grain Cheerios.
Cheerios! I love these things. And they're good for you. And
Light salted caramel iced coffee beverage.
iced coffee. I'm not using that. I'm going to drink that.
Raw shrimp shell on.
Raw shrimp shells on. So that was a big frozen thing I wasn't supposed to know about.
Apple fritters.
And what the hell are those? Apple
The
fritters,
challenge
okay,
starts now.
Okay, I'll see you in a week to 10 days. I think I'm going to do the stove top and I'm going to boil these in the iced coffee. Just because that seems like a cool thing to do.
So how long have you been going to class now for a culinary school?
We started, let's see, we're in September? About a month and a half.
And what's your school called?
Carver Career Institute. Or Carver for short. And they'd be laughing their asses off at me right now. You said the price of this was $1 million, right? Cool, then at least we'll buy a house with a real kitchen. Oh, you know what I mean, those big fancy ones that have all the islands. Yeah, they have the islands in the middle and this self like refrigerators with like the 3 doors that you open and there's 3 more doors and there's 2 more doors and the kids walk out of it, you know. Interdimensional kitchens. Oh God, in my kitchen empty. Stove top. I sponge in boiling water. Well, okay, boiling liquid. 2 tablespoons of salt. 3 to 4 minutes. Remove immediately and wash in cold water. What I will do is I will boil the shrimp in the coffee, and it'll probably pick up some of that flavor. It will be either good or be horrible. I'm hoping good. Good. They're unsweetened. That was quite easy. Look, boys and girls, it's a shrimp. If I had a food processor or a blender, hint, 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 I could put this and the buns right inside it and grind it all up, but I don't, so I'm going to do it the hard way. Do this the hard old-fashioned way. By pouring it into a baggie, zipping it up.
Is this a secret Orca technique of legend?
It's also a way to take out all your aggravation on everything that you think about life, like crunching it all up and beating it on the counter. Because I want some breading. And this, while a crime against Cheerios, will let me crunch it up into a bread. We have 2 tools for every occasion. Oh, if you're mixing your own spices, it's awesome. However, we got mostly done. That's a pretty good approximation of a breading. Let's see whether this even works or not. It'll be rather funny if it works. Rather funny. It might be funnier if it doesn't. This is almost as much fun as that Cool Whip you gave me last time. Because I want to boil the shrimp. I thought I'm going to bread them. I'm going to fry them. I still not sure what to do with these. I get my bean in that. There you go. 3 pounds. This will either make them taste really good or really screw them up. One of the two. I don't know how many of this, but you know what? That looks pretty good. Because that way, if they're yucky, I can make these later the right way. Back on the deep freeze, and the cat's gonna love my fingers for the rest of the day. Okay, so to make a breading, we also need a basic egg wash to make the breading stick. Do we have eggs? Well, we have 1 egg. 2 eggs. Oil again. This is going to be really weird if it works.
So you're trying to sweeten them?
Sweeten them, but also thaw them. One dead chicken. Two dead chickens.
That's how you know he's a chef. He can crack eggs with one hand.
And not get shells in them. And not get shells in them, see? Pay attention, boys and girls, this is value later. Aha, I have it. The light just came on. One is forming slowly in my little brain. Okay, boys and girls, here's Naketa's first tip. When you're baking using a baking pan, just to show you on TV, use aluminum foil to line your pan first. Because when you're done, you just wrap the foil up and throw it away, and the pan is clean. Saves on time and on effort. And yes, I have gotten a brilliant inspiration. Once the shrimp are cooked, then I can devein them. This is cooking spray so that it won't stick to the pan. What I'm going to do is bread the shrimp. This is Old Bay, very good on all kinds of seafood. Give it a little bit of a spice on the breading. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to ball these up, tear it up into small balls, add a little bit of that egg mixture to it, and attempt to make stuffed shrimp. If I can transform this stuff into a filling, it should work out rather well. If I can't, well then, it's pizza night. They have a color in their bloodstream almost, and when it pinkens and warms up, that comes out in the shell. Most seafoods are like that. If you like lobsters and crabs and everything else, will turn a pink like that when they start to get done. That's one of the good indicators, especially when they're frozen. Now we have, I think that will be enough stuffing. I'm going to add some milk. Cold. This is called shocking something. When you cook it and you want to stop the cooking process, take it out of its heated liquid, dump it, and run it in cold.
And what does that do?
It stops the cooking process, because whenever you heat up anything and you're cooking it, It maintains heat inside, and you'll have what's called carryover cooking, which you want to avoid. If not, you're done with it. So you very quickly cool it off like that. In all actuality, if I was making shrimp cocktails, nah, because I got to use the stuffing. If it was just stuffing, I would put those in an ice bath and make them completely, totally cold. But right now, like I said, all I'm doing is shocking them and stopping them from cooking. When you get a whole jumbo shrimp especially, that won't be cut and there'll be a black streak through there. They call that the vein on the shrimp. It's actually their digestive tract, and you have to make sure you take that out, but these are already deveined. They're also not jumbo shrimp. We got ripped off because they're small. These are like a medium-sized shrimp. But that's okay. They still smell really good. See how easy you have to make sure you get the shell and everything, all the legs and everything come off.
So their legs are attached to their shell?
Yep.
That seems like a really evolutionary flaw.
Well, they're almost like an insect. They have an exoskeleton. See, it's on the outside, so that's why it's all attached to that. Just like a spider or a bug. They really are kind of like a bug. You just go on until you peel all that off of all of them. Magic of television. We'll be right back. This is going to take about 20 minutes. Okay. Hi, Neko Drone. I'm Mercy. Congratulations on your engagement. Yes, congratulations. After quite a few years, I think, of just being together. What, like 5, 6 or something, Cal?
I honestly lost track, but yes, they've been together some time.
Neko is a very famous furry artist. Does a wonderful job.
She's a sweetheart.
Does a lot of dragon art.
Mm-hmm. Does she do a lot of orca art?
Yes, he does very Murray art and horse art. Lots of ponies. And Mercy, her fiance, now will soon be husband, is a goo wolf.
Goo wolf?
Yes, it means he's a shapeshifter.
You can also be
but his primary form is a wolf.
Yeah,
Okay.
he can also be a horse or a deer, if I'm not mistaken, and a dragon.
Well, how does the goo come into that? I've seen a lot of shapeshifters that aren't goo at all. They're just peoples.
Think of him as like.
Be clean. This is going to get watched by children.
For lack of a better term, think of him as like
Living rubber.
Yeah, like Flubber from the movie,
Okay.
except that he's
He's
morphic and
sentient.
isn't green. He's black and white.
Yeah, he's sentient rubber, I guess is the best word for it.
Yeah, but he's a really nice guy.
What's the gentleman who just passed away? What about furry founding fathers?
That's the guy behind Skunkworks, Jim Hardiman.
Jim, yeah. Jim Hardiman.
Yeah, may his spirit rest in peace. He was one of the founders.
He was one of the founders back in the 70s and 80s when there were only bulletin boards and hippies meeting at coffee shops. You don't just because as a furry you don't associate yourself with an animal spirit. You are an animal. Usually trapped inside of a human form. Like I'm an orca. You just know it. You just are, and you live it. You just happen to be stuck in this body because that's all this world will allow. Native Americans are very cool though. I like their belief system where they have an animal guide or spirit guide. It's very shamanistic, very natural. That little bit of milk is almost making this like a bread pudding, which I think will work out rather well. But no, there's a couple more left, but you never said I had to use all of them.
No, you don't have to.
I might use one more though. Hear that gushy gushy sound? Ooh, gushy gushy. Yes, ushy gushy is a technical cooking term.
By who?
Me. That one I can copyright. Ushy gushy. Bing! Okay. Fill on the floor. Do not use it. Ushy gushy. That's going to be one that's going to haunt me for the rest of my life. I can just hear it now. Are you the guy that copyrighted Ushy Gushy? Yes, I am. Back when I was young in the 70s, one of TV's original cooking shows was a gentleman called the Galloping Gourmet with Graham Curran. You can Google it, and on YouTube pull up his episodes. The guy is hilarious. He was British and he brought fun to cooking. And what he would do in all of his shows, just because he was British I guess, he would get everything together and he would have a glass of wine and we'd go, no, put that in the oven. Cheerio. take a sip of wine on camera. Something which you don't see much now. Just remember, like my Meemaw always told me when I was growing up on how to cook. And Meemaw is from Shamasian. That's what I call my grandma, my Meemaw. Have fun with it. If it's not fun, why are you doing it? If this fails and flops, oh well, we'll have pizza. Well, not much at all for the shrimp itself, but what it's going to do is make the coating stick to it. So, you get a little egg wash over them going. And now, see, it makes a stick to the shrimp. I'm going to mass produce these. Same way as like when you're breading chicken or anything like that. You do a little egg wash to get whatever you want to stick. Shrimp are kind of small, so it's not sticking a lot, but it's going to give it some flavor, I think. I want you to put a dab of the filling on top of each one. And honestly, seafood and apple is two of those things that go really good together. And sour cream and seafood also. The acidity, or acidity, depending on where you're from, of the apple will get down into the shrimp and tenderize it as it cooks. Which is why also a lot of times with shrimp especially, or shellfish, or really any kind of fish, you'll use lemon or lime. This is apple. Apple goes great with pork too. Anytime you use a fruit, it's because you're getting the acidity of the fruit into whatever you're cooking. The oven's at 350. I'm going to say about 10 minutes. See how they just started to get a browner color from the broiler element. I'm going to pull them out. Ooh, they do smell good. Smell that mapley smell?
Yeah.
That's from the apple and from the fritters. So, and also, this is the other well-known culinary fact. Apples taste good with cheese. Don't know why, they just do. Well, with cheese. But a lot of people, certain parts of the country, especially where I grew up in Pennsylvania, a nice slice of hot apple pie with a melted slab of Colby Jack cheese, American cheese. Oh, the best. And a little. So, boys and girls, don't be afraid to try, because when I open that bag, as you will see, remember from the beginning of the video, and if you don't, rewind so you see it again. When you open the bag, and went, "What the Sam hell am I going to do?" Because if you, by the sounds of everybody chewing here, and by my challenger over there, wolfing down, I think the score is Naketa 2, Wolf 0.
Well,
till next time.
It's definitely got a lot of flavor to it. The flavor of the shrimp itself is very well seasoned to match the rest of the dish, so nothing really overwhelms anything else. So yeah, I can count this as a pass. You did good.
The breading has a really nice texture. You've got kind of a semi firmness to the shrimp. That's just the way I love shrimp.
I'm gonna try the first one.
And you get a first bite of that nice breading, and then the flavor of the shrimp comes through. It's really, really nice.
Nom 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 babies, yeah. Oh, nom 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 babies. Oh, nom 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 rolls. Nom 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 babies. Sweet lobster babies.